To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. So I want to apologize right away. I forgot my mic and it's at the house. So if my memory serves correctly, I called this trailer park on Tuesday to cut down two popular trees, one here and one here. And they leaned in on each other is what they did. It was a tangled up mess. And so this is Monday, so just less than a week, we've gotten both trees cut up and most of it cleaned up. I mean, there's a little bit of scrap here that I'm going to come by every now and then and pick up. And I would think within another load, maybe two, I'll be able to have this cleaned up. It took 3 days to cut it up and 3 loads to bring the massive logs back. Everything that's burnable. I'm on I think the 4th load of brush. Now some of these logs, as you can see from the stump, were just too massive for me to lift. I couldn't lift it by myself. And of course I wasn't going to ask Carolyn for help. That was just, her back would be tore up for weeks. Yesterday I think we came in with the log splitter and we split up a lot of these with the log splitter. Now they are pretty massive. Here you can see that the core is the spot that I needed to split. Well, the outer rim here is very soft still because it's very wet. When you start to split this, water actually pours out of it. The splitter didn't want to split it. What I had to do was I had to take the chainsaw and do a cross cut, and I went, I don't know, a few inches in, and then I was able to take the splitter, put it in the split that I made with the saw, and then split it the rest of the way with the splitter. And it went a lot faster that way. I really do like that manual splitter because it's portable. It's so portable. You can just throw it in the back of the truck, bring it out here. Now, I do believe that you'd have had the same issue with a gas-powered log splitter. It's just so soft, it would split down here right along this white spot here, but it wouldn't grab the core. But I was able to resolve it. Now, Carolyn and I want to make sure that we do a good job on the cleanup. I've heard people say before, oh, the cleanup is not a big deal when you get these free work, where you come in, you get the logs, and then you just leave the rest for the homeowner. And I thought, Carolyn and I was talking about this. I don't know what the proper etiquette is. But in my opinion, if I clean this up real good, like I was getting paid to do it, then this homeowner might tell another homeowner, hey, there's a guy down the street. He cleans up the whole mess. You don't have to worry about a thing. And in the end, it would pay off for me for people to want to call me if they have a tree down. So this is a big deal to us. I've actually seen a YouTube video where this guy's got a huge farm. I don't know how many acres he's got, but he does the same thing. He'll come out here and take free wood. That way you're not having to cut down live trees on your own property, and you still get the majestic feel of your woods. If I went in there and just bulldozed our property, it'd be gone and we wouldn't have anything to enjoy. So anytime I get free wood, even if it's not really good wood, I really think I'm going to take it if it's financially feasible. And what I mean by that is it's taken 3 or 4 loads of hauling brush, and I have to keep coming back and forth to pick it up. So this is not worth much. The brush isn't. So this means if I have to make a lot of trips just picking up brush, it may not be cost effective. Now, I could go and buy a trailer And we've talked about that, but there again, how many times are you going to use a trailer? Is it cost effective? Would it actually pay for itself? So I'm going to analyze paying for a trailer and seeing if it's cost effective. Remember, you got taxes on a trailer, license fees, the whole deal. So now you got yearly cost on something that you don't use very often. You'd have to maintain the wheel bearings and the tires. They'll get dry rot if they sit around too much. So I'm not too sure I want to go and just buy a trailer if I'm not going to use it, which probably would have taken care of all the brush right away. Now, renting a trailer from U-Haul or something, again, I'm not sure that's cost effective. I don't know how much it costs, 50, 60 bucks, but so you spend 50 or 60 bucks for brush that you got to store and deal with. Remember, I got to take it back to my property. I'm going to have to let it dry out, and then I guess I'm going to burn it. Carolyn said that we're going to use it for our oven stove, and that may be true. That might be a big benefit to us. We're going to build an outdoor oven that's a wood burning stove. If she can use that much, that's great, but if it just sits around and starts making a mess, remember, if we get another tree, we got to stack on top of that. So, it's just a big mess. I want to be careful on the brush. This was a big surprise to me. Not a surprise. I knew I had to pick up the brush. It was one of these things I just didn't think through. I'm glad this place was close by. It's only 2 miles down the road from our house. And so I can come down here, as I pass through, no big deal. But if this was 50 miles away, okay, 3 trips, 4 trips, well, it actually would have taken more trips if it was 50 miles away, because I wouldn't have loaded the truck so heavy. Yesterday, we loaded the truck way overweight, but I just drove slow, went home, about 45 miles an hour. I kept an eye on the tire pressures, kept an eye on the transmission temperature, but it was 50 miles away. You couldn't have overloaded the truck. So it would have probably been maybe 6 loads. So that's a lot of traveling, 100 miles a day traveling back and forth. Doing this in the summertime is kind of a big deal too. Storms come through in the spring. It may be still cool enough that you can cut, but if you start getting into summertime, you can only work in the morning. I got here, I think, at 6:30. It's already about 8 o'clock now, and it's starting to get pretty hot. You can't work that long during the summer. So all this has to be calculated into the cost. Again, I still think it's very cost effective since this place was so close, and that's what I want to try to do. I want to try to put my feelers out to the community close by. Within, maybe 15 miles is an idea of going and getting firewood for your off-grid lifestyle. But beyond that, I think it starts to become spend more for wood heat than possibly even just buying wood. Remember, if you buy wood, you don't have to do anything. No chainsaw costs, no maintenance costs on your truck, no trailer costs. They bring you out cured wood. Let's just say it was $200 for a cord of wood and it lasts you all winter. Now you're starting to have to compare prices. $200 to buy a cord of wood, or is it $200 for me to come out here and do all the work myself? So things that I'm trying to analyze and think about. Now, I think if I do get into where I'm starting to travel 15, 20 miles, I will ask about the brush. Perhaps if I would ask this guy, hey, can I stack your brush up here and we can come out in the fall and burn it when the ground's wet and rainy? He might have said, yeah, that'd been a great idea. So I'm going to negotiate next time if it gets too far away, so I don't have to bring the brush back. Again, I have to store it, and the thing is I may have to burn it in the end anyways if Carolyn isn't able to use it in her oven. But in the end, I want to say this was a great find. I'm really happy we got it. Oh, I'm overly thrilled actually that we got it. So huge learning lesson 1. I'm glad it was close by 2, and 3, the brush. I can start thinking about how I want to deal with the brush. Do I want to rent a trailer, buy a trailer, or can I just leave it on the property, stack it up, and come back in the fall and we can burn it? So things that I want to think about, things I wanted to share with you. Think about analyzing your heating costs, and think about actually start burning some wood if you can do it. Now remember, you got to worry about insurance. But if you build an outdoor wood furnace and you just pump that heat inside, I don't think insurance would be a problem. I know that way back, 10, 15 years ago, I wanted to get wood heat, and I wanted to do this. I wanted to go around and just collect firewood from people. But I called the insurance company. They said, you can't have a stove inside your house, a wood stove, because it was a 100 years old house and that kind of thing. It was just, they didn't want to deal with it. Well, I said, can I do an outdoor furnace? And they said, yeah, I mean, that's no problem at all. So you may be able to consider doing outdoor wood heat, build an outdoor heat exchanger like I've done, and go around and start collecting firewood. Think about it. I'm trading the stressful job of working for an employer for the unstressful job. It's just simply trying to figure out, do I want to take the brush or not take the brush? I mean, this is not, something that's earth-shattering. Of course, I'll take the brush, and then I'll figure out how I'm going to deal with it in the future. I've really enjoyed my few months as off-grid living. And again, I hope I can inspire you to think about your dream, how to minimize your life, get away from the mundane, day-to-day working environment. You got to make money. I'm not trying to say you got to quit your job and start living off-grid. I'm saying reduce the amount of stress and be happy in life. Thanks for watching.